So I was talking and I didn't press the live button. Okay, I'm live. Hello, how are you? It's it's been so long since I've done a live. Um, Let me just check that everything is working. One moment, please. Okay, good. Now, I haven't done any videos, lives. I only do lives. Oh my God, my hair. I woke up like this, basically. I washed it and that was it. You're probably thinking, she has really curly hair. Today, it's really curly. Other days, it's like I have two wigs on, one on top and the other one at the. It's chaotic. So just ignore it. I'm going to ignore it because I haven't been able to fix it. Anyway, this is by the way, this is uh, my hair. I've tried to do something with it, and this is as good as it gets. So just deal with it. I haven't been doing any lives because, well, one of the reasons is that I am studying at this age, exactly at this age. Uh, I'm studying and it's full time. It's actually at university. I was going to do a bachelor actually. I know, right? It's 3 years full time. And it's about property. That's what I'm studying, property. um, as you know, I'm also an archaeologist. Anyway, I thought 3 years I can do this. Uh, for the first 2 weeks of the bachelor, I was so bored. It was boring. It was horrible, and I mean, I cannot remember how I studied when I was doing a bachelor in my 20s. And you have to understand that that's where all the kids, children, um, come to after they leave school. So we're talking about between 18 and 21-year olds. So going to class with children was not fun. To be, I was not enjoying it. And so after 2 weeks, I thought I can't do this. So I went to talk to the lecturers, the teachers, and I said, I'm just, I can't do this. It's so boring. You have to, what's the option here? And they said, that's insane. How about you do a postgraduate instead? Um, it's only a year full time, and you're gonna love it. It's intense. It's great. And so they changed me, and I started doing the postgraduate 2 weeks after. So I've been doing that, and it's quite intensive, and it takes all my time, all of it, all my energy, and I had to change tactics because studying how I was studying, I didn't have time to eat, let alone do lives. Um, anyway, I am now studying differently, and it's giving me time to do this and to eat, have a life outside university. Anyway, how are you? Uh, I decided to do a live. I was not planning to. Mm, because of the latest news. I don't know if you've seen it already. Uh, it's they're quite intense, and in regards to the rescue of the girls. When Mary was telling us the story of what happened, and she would use the word girls. For some reason, I was thinking 15-year-olds, 20-year-olds. Uh, but when she said 5 years old, I was just, I just couldn't believe it. I don't know. Um, it's heartbreaking. It really is heartbreaking. Um, and I thought I would share my my perception of this. Um, because there are girls who are, 5 years old, who come from planets, cultures that are not as advanced in terms of their society, technology, spirituality, as the races um, that we have in orbit that are actually taking care of them. And so Mary and the other carers, the other races, are asking themselves, what are we going to do with these children, these little girls? They're not big enough to understand what's going on and to make a decision. And I am thinking at 5 years old, you only want your mother. I mean, that's your world. Your parents are your world. So it's a difficult decision. I mean, do you take them back to a place where you know they're not going to live for much longer? I don't know what these places are like. Um, but there are many issues here, and it's just I don't think there is a right or wrong decision. It's just a decision in a position where you are part of the healing aspects of these girls because the damage has already been done. It's so you're now trying to heal and you are part of the healing path of these girls. The decision that you make is just a decision. It's not a right or wrong decision whether to take them back or to take them or have a race that is willing to take care of them and heal them and integrate them into their society. There's no right or wrong answer here. There's no right or wrong decision. I don't think so. Um, we can look at it from, and that's what I believe it's the debate they're having at the moment with the grown-up girls where who can make their decision. That's easier because they've made a decision. For 5-year-olds, the decision is in your hands. Uh, you hold their fate, whatever that may be. If you take them back to their planet, to their family, that child has a mother and a father, I believe. Some people could say they deserve to have their child back. Whether that child is going to live 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 years, who knows? Whether that child will have the healing that we believe it needs, who knows? She might not. Uh, whether the family or the society will understand what these or will know. They're not going to know what the child went through. But how do we know that there's probably someone there who is more spiritually advanced and understands more and can see that this child needs special healing? So maybe there's a path between this child and this person in that planet to have a bond and to heal. And maybe that would bring in that society something special, something different, which will help them be more spiritually advanced. I don't know. So if you don't take the child back to their planet, you could be um, you could be stopping that type of relationship that could form. Then again, she might not have that, and she might live for 10 more years, and that's it. if you take her, if another race takes her in, and what happens when she grows up? Will she say, well, why didn't you take me back to my parents? Or maybe it's going to be the opposite. Maybe she's going to understand because, you're more spiritually advanced, and mm, you see things from a different perspective. So you will understand that the choice that you made was the best one. That you now have a lovely family in a beautiful planet. You can do whatever you want. Who knows what that child is going to grow up like? Um, I remember, because you don't want to. The thing is that you want to do the best. You don't want to be part of um, the damage. You don't want to. Uh, you want you want the best for these girls. You want them to heal. I remember once, and I'll never forget it. A long time ago, I had this job, and for some reason, I needed to learn how to do mm, first aid. What is it? First aid. They call it first aid. So basically, we had to learn how to pump the heart, give mouth to mouth, as they say, if someone's heart stopped. And I remember, because my mother worked at a hospital, she was a midwife, and she knew all about this. And I said to her, "Am I doing this right?" And she said, "No, it has to, the pumping that you make has to be really strong, because you have to reach the heart. You have to pump the heart. So you have to make really strong pushing. Has to be really strong. That's why some people get on top of the person and push, because you have to stimulate the heart that's under there." And I just said to her, that's I said to her, "What if I break her ribs or break some of her bones?" And I'll never forget it. She looked at me and she said, "This person is already dead. The damage has already been done." She said, "You're just trying to bring her back to life. Do you really think that after she's brought back to life with her family, she's going to say, 'You broke my ribs'?" So you're part of the healing. How you make that healing is the best way you know, and you can at that moment in time. Um, and I'll never forget it. It's just like any surgeon that has to heal someone who's been in a car accident, and all your things are outside and they have to put them back inside. You do the best you can, don't you? So with these girls, the damage has already been done. You are trying to do the best that you can, and whatever decision that the people make, it is just a decision. It's never the right or wrong decision. The only person that will be able to judge and live with it, it's the girl. When she grows up, she'll have she'll have she will have to take responsibility for what happened, for how she looks at this, and she'll be responsible for her healing when she grows up. Unfortunately, she was a match to this. She was a match to what happened to her. That's when some people tell me you were a match to it, it drives me nuts, especially when you're down. But it applies to everyone. So she was a match to what happened and frequency wise. And the people who will take care of her, she's a match to that. So at the end, it will be the girl who will judge whether this decision was right or wrong. And it is part of her life, her path to learn what to do next. Um, but there's no right or wrong. I don't think so. It is just a decision that needs to be made. Uh, I can only give an opinion from someone who is human at the moment, who lives down here with all the narrow points of view that we have here on this earth. This is my point of view from the person that I am right now. I think I would support any decision they make. It is very difficult. And it was quite an emotional news that Mary has decided to share with us. And I do thank her for it, because for me as well um, it actually has impacted my life. Ah, that the news that she has shared, because my life it's making more sense. I don't know about you, but that type of unfortunate events, all this war that's happening at the moment around this planet, and the insanity with the Federation, I now understand more about my life, because all those things that obviously we are a frequency match to, even though we may not remember it, it does filter into our life here. Being in immersion, that filters into my life, and it filters in a way that I'm thinking, what the hell is going on? Why is this happening? So there are certain aspects in my life where I just thought, what the hell is going on? And then they tell you, it is your frequency. And I'm like, where did I get that frequency from? Now I understand it. So it has really impacted my life. And I think it has impacted many of the star seeds' lives, because they can see how they are, their lives, that it mirrors their life, and we are able to understand it a bit more. Um, it is a difficult thing that's happening at the moment. Mm, I would say hello. Thank you for being here. Sandy, how are you? Good morning. It's morning here. It's 8:30 in the morning on a Tuesday in New Zealand. Chu, how are you? Hello. Welcome. Thank you. Alejandra. Hi, nice to see you. How are you? She says, I have a question derived from what Mary said. She says, as most of them are totally human, does this mean that very few would not be of Lyrian human origin? What other races would they be? Yes, some of them are Antarian. Well, no, they are Lyrian. I think when she said human, I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to listen to the plan. I'm gonna have to listen to the videos again, because when she said human, I'm thinking human, like you and I, human, not Antarian, like human, instead of Tagetan or Antarian or Engan. I don't know if she said human as Lyrian. So I think human as human from this earth, because most of them were human from this earth, as opposed to Ontarian. I think that's it. I'm not sure. I would have to check. Alejandro says, as a mother, it's a difficult decision. It's insane. But a conscious and mature instinct allows you to make an ethical decision, even if the minor from her limited perspective doesn't want it. She says protecting their physical and spiritual integrity, it's a priority. It's about maintaining a balance between protection, love, and guided freedom. Speak the truth of the girl's level and guide their free will towards a transition or temporary stay with an interstellar civilization. That might be an interesting choice as well. Also facilitates energetic or spiritual communication with their families, even if it's not physical, so they don't lose the emotional bond. Sure, there's an advanced civilization that can facilitate this with technology or psychic abilities. That's an actually another choice. Is to instead of taking those girls back to their families right away, um, have them with another race who can make sure they are healed and maintain the bond, as you say, in whatever aspects to their family and to their planet. Maybe it's a good idea because you know, I mean, are we talking about our emotional well-being, what we would like to do? That's always something that I've thought about. Am I making a decision of how I feel? I would feel better. Um, so they could grow up a bit more, uh, be a little bit more mature before they and allow them to be free in whatever decision they make. I mean, it could be that you could take them in until they are what, 12 years old, 13 years old, and then they can make a decision and say, I want to go back to my planet. I think once they grow up, they will be allowed to do as they want. They might go back. It's an interest. It's an interesting. I don't know if it's interesting. It is a difficult decision, but yes, it's. Thank you for that. It's another option, certainly. She says, carry out a careful process of integration, love, and healing, telling them that their planet is not yet safe, proposing a temporary stay in a loving and advanced environment. Exactly. That could be an option. That could be a really good option because it's another way of guaranteeing their safety, well-being, and a start of a healing path. It could be. Uh, I always wonder how the mother is doing, how the parents are doing. They must be going insane. Uh, so that's another aspect of it. Mm, exactly. They can afterwards make a decision on their own. That's a good option as well. See, this is the difficult part. It's a difficult part of situations like this. Um, and I think if we look at it, we have to look at this in many different aspects, the points of view, perceptions. Um, I think you also need to be at peace of any decisions that you make. I am now thinking of the people that have to make the decision, which but I'm taken back to the uh, first aid exercise I was doing. When I was worried of breaking the woman's rib, and mom said she's already dead. Um, it is the best thing that you can do at that moment in time. And whatever decision they make, it is a decision. Huh. It's very difficult. It's very difficult. Uh, I the more Mary shares with us of what's going on in orbit, the more sometimes I realize maybe some of the reasons I came here. Because in some aspects it's been like a bliss, like you are having a rest from the memories of the chaos that is happening at the moment and has happened around this planet for a very long time. Uh, yeah, it's difficult. In regards to, I have some notes. So the Tortons are here, and as they say, whenever the Tortons are here, it's because something has happened on this planet. I had no idea that the Pope had died, even less that he had died way back. I think it was 2 months before. They actually said he died. He did not die on Easter. He died 2 months before. Um, I don't know what's going to happen. There is apparently a prediction that there is going to be, that they say the next pope is going to be a black pope. Now, I don't know what that means. The Tortons seem to be black, in skin. I don't know. So they mean black in what? Black and there's a skin, a person who's black, dark in color. We have a ridiculous racism here on this planet, whether you are brown, blue, green, white. There's racism everywhere. I mean, this color was subject to racism here on this country. Um, so I don't know if they meant black as in the skin or black as in bad. Here on this planet, white is good, black is bad. Uh, and then the prediction says that this is going to be the last pope. What does that mean? So I'm trying to figure this out and think, okay, this is the last one because it's going to be the last one before the next reset. Because they're obviously always want to reset this planet as soon as people start to figure out what is going on, like we have, and are not part of their energy sucking supply. We're not suffering anymore, so we're not feeding uh, their entities. We are of no use anymore, so they need to reset the whole planet so they can start again. Is that what it means? That prediction? Who knows? But it sounds like the Tortons here are obviously present uh, to manage the reset of this planet. There's no doubt about it. Uh, Even their starships are very, they're not friendly. I mean, they're not pink. For example, I was saying to someone, why are they black? They could be pink, yellow, green. They're black with the needle-like protru- pro- 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 protrusions. You know what I mean. Um, so what's going on with the Tortons? Now, The authorities apparently spoke out and said that they are here for diplomatic reasons. You've got to be kidding me. Come on. Not even I believe it. And I'm down here. Um, so I'm so glad that they almost said, "Are you insane? You're lying," basically. So the authorities are definitely not here for diplomatic reasons. We do know now through Mary that they've been in meetings in Antarctica with the cabal of this earth. What's happening? I don't know. The blackouts that has happened in Europe apparently has affected Spain the most. And it also happened in Chile uh, a couple of months before. And they are testing something. If they do a blackout, that's the planet's energy that humans use for making their civilization work, basically. So what are they trying to do? What are they trying to find out? How people are reacting when you take this energy away, which is electricity. With electricity, we use it to see at night. Some people use electricity to turn on their oven, their kitchen, so they're unable to cook. You're unable to eat. It's chaotic. Uh, Businesses, if they don't have uh, generators, backup generators, they won't be able to offer their services. Supermarkets, for example, where we get our food. So if we only have certain foods at home to eat and they need to be cooked, and we don't have electricity and we need electricity to cook, what are we going to eat? Next day, we have to go to work. We have children to feed. So what do we do? So we have to go and buy food that we can eat without cooking. So it's chaotic. And I'm just explaining a tiny little bit aspect of our lives, how it is impacted. Um, at the minute level, that could be called a minute level for us. What are we going to eat? Uh, there's so many side effects to it. If you have an electric car, oh my god, you can't use transport. Mm, so I guess they're trying to learn what happens to society, what happens to specific societies, specific cultures. So they wanted to see what would happen to Chileans in Chile without electricity for, I think it was, I don't know, I think it was 2 days, 2 days without electricity. So what would they do? Let's see what happens. That's what they do. They turn off something and then they watch to see what's going on inside the country. So they did it to Chileans. Now they're doing it to Spain and other countries in Europe and see what they do, what happens there. So they're basically planning something. Um, I think that by now we are always on the lookout for self-preservation. And myself and my own uh, for me, I've never been one to uh, think, okay, some people have, because they want to be prepared. So they have always like 10 liters of water at home with, 20 cans of baked beans and flour and, things, backup food and water in case something happens. So they have at least something to sustain themselves for a while. I've never been that type of person. I've never done it before in my life. Is it a good idea to do that? It could be, if you can, definitely. But it seems that th- for as long as I've lived, it's always been like that. There's always this the sense that something's gonna happen, so be ready. So we are in constant um, alarm mode. Waiting that maybe something's gonna happen. Ugh, sometimes I just ignore it. It's one more thing to be scared of. And and in all honesty, trying to relax. I think for me it's better. I just try to relax more and more. I meditate. I try to find a different perspective to things that are happening around me, or to me, or for me, or with me, or at me, or whatever. And I try to find different perceptions that make me relax, because the more I relax, the more I see different perceptions, the more I'm able to learn and do things differently so that I can have a happier life. At the end, for me, the goal is to be happier, happy, happier, happy. I want to be more happy tomorrow than I am today. Isn't that the goal here? Because if you're happy, your frequency is way up there, and you're not compatible for as food, as energy food for the entities that are feeding on us. I think at the end, being on this planet, one of the largest aspect of our goal is to be happy, so we're not food for these entities. It takes effort at times. It takes effort. Um, if you can do other things, it's fantastic. So keeping your frequency up, uh, it's really important. I'm glad that Antaria is realizing what is going on here and taking action. She gave the Federation an ultimatum, or the Tortons an ultimatum, that they should leave the orbit, or the high orbit. They didn't, so she brought in her own military ships, and they are arriving, I think, as we speak. Should be arriving soon if they're not already here. Mm, things are always escalating, aren't they? Uh, they're always escalating. And for example, if we look at this from a certain point of view, we are saying we are at the border of military action in terms of firing a a confrontation in the orbit between Urmas, Etortans, Taigetans, Antarians. Things are always escalating. I mean, this is not apparently something that is just happening now. It seems to be always happening in one way or another. Mm. So it's. Um, I remember the first one of the first news from Mary when she was saying things are escalating. I remember getting quite nervous, because I thought, oh my goodness, any moment now there's going to be confrontations on orbit, in orbit. And then apparently nothing really happened. So there was like it was like climax, like and it's always like this, isn't it? It's always like this. I obviously hope nothing happens, that the Tortons leave. And the thing is that I don't think the Tortons are going to leave. I don't think the Tortons are going to stop doing what they're doing unless uh, unless you either take action against them or they have no reason to come back for anything. But I think Tortons have a reason. They have their own reasons of why they are here. And if you take away that reason, that whatever they have here, which apparently is us, I don't know. Um, because if there are no humans on Earth, would they still be here? If there are no humans to have slaves to be slaves to them, would they still be here? Would they be doing all they're doing here? So it's definitely about humans. And what do they want from humans? Energy. They are what do they call it? Or that what's our the more scared we are, the more they're able to feed on us. So if we raise our frequency and keep our frequency up, we're not part of the food chain. If less and less and less humans are part of the food chain, what happens? Do we take away their food and then they don't come back? Or does the Federation reset the planet again? It is something interesting. So how do we stop the Federation from resetting this Earth? How do we do that? Talking to them doesn't work. It doesn't work, does it? So what do we do? It's like we have another Tiamat scenario. That's the only scenario I see in the future. It's another Tiamat. But then, if it's another Tiamat scenario, there's always going to be another planet. It's never ending, is it? So then you start thinking, okay, so how do we fix this? And then you get so tired of it and you say, wait a minute, do I need to fix it? Or I just need to go away and not be a part of it? Because then you think, wait a minute, why am I a part of it? Am I a frequency match? Apparently. So what do? Well, in the meantime, you do whatever you can do in the meantime. So in the meantime, for me, at this moment in time as Elizabeth on this earth, I try to be as happy as I can so I'm not part of the food chain. That for me is my goal. And I think it will always be my goal until I leave, however I may leave this earth. I don't want to be part of the food chain. So I refuse to cry. I refuse to be scared whether there's going to be a blackout tomorrow, where they are going to fight up there, where there is going to be an earthquake, whatever. Another ridiculous bug. I refuse to be scared. I'm not going to be scared. I'm not going to be sad. I'm not going to cry. And I'm going to be as happy as I can because I don't want to be part of the food chain. Because that's what we are. That's what we are. Because that's why this planet's being managed for. There are so many other aspects of it. Certainly, yes, there is so many races here. So many. And there's many races inside Earth as well, not just us on top. But at this moment in time, for me as human here, I am part of the food chain. I refuse to be a part of it. And at this moment in time, for the Tagetans, at the moment, they need to be in orbit. They are in orbit. And what can they do? Well, they do rescue. They try to talk to the Federation. They communicate with other races. They look out for us. They send drones. They do their work. Mary does her videos. She keeps us informed. So many things. That's what they can do in this situation. Because I sometimes wonder, what the hell can I do? Well, I thought to myself one day, how about not being part of the negative side of it? I mean, at least try not to be the part of the -1. Be a plus. That's the least we can do, I think. Some people say that's the most you can do. That's what you came here for. We all have our different reasons for being here. Yeah. Some people apparently just came here for the ride. Let's see what it's like to be on Earth. Oh, look, I'm part of the food chain. Interesting. I mean, do you blame them? No, they can make a decision. They can decide what to do. Are they part of the good side, the bad side? I don't know. I only know what I do and what I think. That's the only uh, management that I have is of myself right now. How interesting. Jaime Cubides, how are you? Welcome. It's nice to see you. Alejandra Cuella says it could be related to the fact that the Chinese are now using thorium to generate energy. Holy cow. I would have to look into that. I have no idea. Okay, guys. I have to go back to my studies. So that's what I wanted to share. Just some ideas, points of views, what's going on. And since Mary said that she would like to hear our thoughts in regards to the fate of these little girls, I thought I would jump in and share my position, my point of view. I don't think I have a position. I think I just have something to share, something to say. And if it helps, and I think we can all help in some way just by voicing our opinion, whatever that may be, in whatever shape or form. And since she asked that she would like to hear our side, our views, I did. So that's why I jumped in and did this this live, which I had not planned to. I actually have to go now and make some photocopies at the university. Okay, so thank you for being here. Thank you for keeping me company, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you for letting us, me, and everyone know your views, your thoughts on this. Appreciate it. If you have anything else to say, and people who are watching me after uh, in the comments, you're always welcome to share your opinion. Unless, of course, you don't believe in this and you don't like the Taigetans. Well, I gotta tell you, this is not the channel for you. I'm just saying. But if you would like to share something, give your opinion, your point of view, or just something you want to share, please do so in the comments. It's always appreciated. Everyone reads it. Everyone reads it. I'm sure of it. So I wanted to say thank you. And I would like to say a hello, obviously, to Mary, the CIC, who's always in the chat, to the captains, Captain Gorel, and everyone in orbit. So I will see you next time. Take care. Bye bye.